Nothing annoys me more than me talking gold and then the episode not getting uploaded. But hello, and I'm going to be talking about the power of visualization today, because on Saturday I was interviewed on a podcast which I will be sharing on my social media platforms, most likely Facebook. But the power of visualization and journaling and tracking data and measuring all you can, because you can't track or measure what you don't take notes on and what you don't data take on, if that makes sense. And that's a whole different topic. But for this one, I really want to talk about visualization, because as soon as any doubt starts to creep in, or your expectations are just so high that as soon as one little thing goes wrong or you fall short just a little bit and you want to throw in the towel, or you say you're not good enough, or you doubt that you'll ever get to where you want to be and all this other stuff, how are you expecting to actually reach your goal if you don't believe that you can? Like, if it's foreign in your mind and it seems impossible in your mind, then you're not going to physically achieve it. You really aren't, because you're not going to be really giving it 100% the way that you should be giving it if you don't think that you're going to get it anyway, if that makes sense. Because I went into so many different examples. Like, for example, but you need to make it realistic. Like, you need to have the end goal in mind, but set, like, the big thing is to have a dream. So, you want to have this big dream, but along the way, you want to have mini goals that are pretty much like stepping stones to get to the other side. So, you want to be able to have those stepping stones in a way that you can, like, they're not so far apart that you wobble, or they're not so far apart that you can miss them and fall into the water and then feel discouraged and have to, like, fight for your life. And, like, you need to have the end goal so that it's in sight. Like, set mini milestones along the way. So, for example, you're doing an obstacle course or something, and there are stepping stones in one of them, and it's just enough so that you can see the other side of the river, sort of thing. As soon as you cross those stepping stones, you can see like the end goal, like you can visualize it clearly. So you know that you have that laser focus on that end goal, and the mini stepping stones are the mini goals to that. And then you walk on, like, land for a while, and then you get to the next river you need to cross to get to the next goal. Because there's always going to be goals, and, like, if you want to be a better person and you don't want to stay stagnant or bored with everything and complacent, you're always going to be setting new goals. I mean, it's human nature to want to be a better version of yourself and expect more from yourself and want to live the best life that you can. So you're always going to be setting goals to enable you to get to that level. So keep in mind that you need to have that laser focus. Now onto visualization. I'm going to use two different examples. One would be for just, like, wanting to look good naked, wanting to transform your life, lose some weight, get fitter, get healthier, that jazz. So I'm going to use one of my clients as an example. So she's in the triple digits for a body weight, and I'm going to actually use this for another client who's in the same wagon, but in the triple digits for their body weight. And I was telling her to imagine stepping onto the scale and it being the number she wants to see, 99. Finally breaking the triple digits and seeing the double digits that she has not seen in years. Like, you have not seen that number in so long. It is so foreign to you. So it doesn't seem possible in your head. But if you practice visualization, seeing those numbers, and not just seeing them, but feeling that weight, feeling like you're 99 kilos, acting like you're 99 kilos. Like, how much more confident will you be knowing that you just broke that triple digit barrier that you have not broken in ages? Like, how can that, like, how would it feel to you? Like, you can't just do a one-off, and you can't just say, oh, it's stupid. Like, you need to actually visualize it so clearly that there is no other way than doing all the steps necessary to get you to those goals. Now, is that realistic? Depends. How can it be realistic? Well, if you have a coach, if you have a nutritionist, if you have a trainer that's going to guide you to that goal, then yes, it is realistic. But if you're going to keep going on the same cyclic pattern without guidance, without proper advice, without proper support and coaching, because, like, there are so many free meal plans on the internet. There are so many free freaking meal books and healthy 30, this, that, the other bullshit. It doesn't do anything. Like, you see people going on diets and then they don't think about the after diets. That's where the value in coaching comes in, because not only are you getting a plan, but it's adaptive to you. It's personalized, and you get the coaching experience. It's the human aspect that is what makes you succeed. So you need to see that. You need to see that value. You need to see the value of being accountable, the value of communicating, the value of having that changing and updated feedback weekly, whenever it is. Because if you see that value and realize how golden it is and how it is going to take you to your goals, you are going to believe in yourself even more, knowing that this is the way. All I need to do is put my whole heart into it, believe I can do it, and do it. So I guess that is that aspect of it. And I tried to sum it up briefly so I can touch on to the others. Now, when it comes to lifting, for example, if you have a certain lifting goal and you've been working towards it, note, working towards it. Because if you're squatting like 60 kilos and you want to hit like 80, that like 2 weeks later, that's not going to happen. Like, it needs to be a realistic aim. But if you've been working constantly towards something and you know that it's in sight given your previous progress, then it is more likely to happen, because you're going to put in all the hard steps to get there. You're going to keep pushing yourself, but at the same time, progress isn't linear, so you can't predict it. But you need to believe that you can achieve it if you put in the work. And if you're going into a competition, for example, or if you're going into a really hard phase of training and you need to hit certain numbers, then visualize all the steps it takes into gripping the bar if it's a squat, getting it onto your back, digging your back into it and getting tight, and pulling the bar hard onto your back, pulling it, bending it, getting tight under the bar. And then imagine the squat movement. Like, this is not actually you squatting, this is you visualizing. You're visualizing this, and then you're going to visualize performing the squat. What goes through your mind as you're squatting down? Visualize it and then act it. And the same goes for the bench, the same goes for the deadlift. Practice the whole bracing. Practice everything within your head and then carry it forward. And practice aggression in your head. You need to practice the aggression, not practice it like pussy lifting, which is what I call it. So however you imagine it in your head is how it's going to pan out in the long run. So visualize it, believe it, achieve it. And then the same goes for comp prep. So with this one, I was actually talking about a few different methods for comp prep, like visualizing the negatives and the positives. So for example, if you're finding it hard to stick to your diet, think about this is the positives. Visualize yourself saying no to things, how much stronger you feel in yourself, how much better you will feel knowing that you are going to get the results you desire, knowing that you're going to get to that stage conditioning that is insane. Visualize yourself not giving into the hunger, because you are going to get hungry when you're getting unhealthily lean. Visualize every single aspect of saying no to people, of putting the effort into meal prepping, of going shopping, of avoiding the snacks, of like, if you're someone that likes to go into like the junk food aisle when you're shopping, visualize yourself going shopping and only going to the sections that you need to go, and then do it. Sometimes positive visualization doesn't work for people, and then you have to visualize the negative. So for example, you're always mindlessly snacking, if you're a mum, like licking the spoon of this or that, the other. You're mindlessly grabbing a donut or a piece of bread, or you give into a whole packet of Tim Tams before you sleep on occasions because you're so emotional, or you're so hungry on the way home you just give into a massive raw slice of vanilla or caramel or whatever the hell it is. Like, visualize how shit you will feel afterwards, knowing that you probably just put a whole spanner into the works. Visualize how, like, just visualize the negative components of it all, like how you're feeling, how you're thinking, anything that goes through your head, even physical feels, like physically feel how gross your belly will feel afterwards, like gurgly, bubbly, whatever it is that can spark enough emotion to turn you off it, visualize it, because it's more likely to then turn you off actually grabbing whatever it is that you grab. So the power of visualization can work in so many ways. Like for me, I can give an example. When I was pretty much freaking terrified ages ago of pulling up a deadlift, I actually visualized not letting go of the damn thing, and I did not let it go. I've never let it go since. I got it up the first time in my first comp, and then when I went to Pro Raw, it was like a literal 12-second grind because I visualized not letting go of that bar. But I almost blanked out, which is probably why I ended up dropping it, and I just narrowly missed locking out. But visualization is just powerful as hell, and you can use it pretty much in any way you want, and that's where journaling also comes in, because if you journal about your experiences, journal what works for you, what doesn't work for you, you can find trends, and it just sets you up for a more positive outlook on everything, because you're focusing on positives now, not on negatives. You're focusing on ways to get you towards your goal. And yeah, it's just so powerful. Like, I'm really excited for this episode to come out when I got interviewed so I can share it. And yeah, I hope that helps. If there's anything else you want me to talk about, DM me on Facebook, Ruby Cherie, or Instagram, DM me. And I would love to cover anything that crosses your mind that can help you.